Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of Little Norton. We are second day of early spring and it is a nice bright morning and yeah, we've got a lot to crack on with. So last time we bought our tractor and purchased our farm. We also placed some placeables to keep us going when times are hard, and we also prepared field number 9 here at the main part of the farm. Here we go. So yes, we scanned that field and we turned over the sugar beet that was in it. So yeah, next things are we need to lime it as it is low on the pH, and we need to get it ready for the crop. So the plan is, first of all, I'm going to do a dash to the shop and buy our new spreader. It's a fairly unique spreader as it spreads solid fertiliser, lime and also manure, which is quite interesting. Never seen a machine that does all three. And I am going to be filling it up with big bags of lime, so I am going to need to buy a front loader for the tractor. So I'm going to do a dash to the shop, buy the equipment, and then we can get on with the rest of the field prep. See you there. Okay, so we are back at the farm and we've bought our new spreader. It is the John Deere DN 1006, which, as I said, can take fertiliser, lime and also manure, which is going to come in real handy for lots of different spreading needs. I think it's got a spray distance of 12 metres. So going to get it fired up, just going to check that we're going to be applying the lime and it's going to adjust the pH to the right level. So let's get it started. And yeah, we've got a reasonable spreading distance. Not the biggest, but having to watch the expenditures of the farm. This was £70,000, but bought it used for around 47, which is a good little saving. Only a few £1,000s more than the bridle one, but I thought it was worth it given that this can spread manure as well, as it'll be a nice extra use. And save money by not having to buy a specific manure spreader. Yeah, I'm just going to cover the border of the field, make sure we get the lime where it needs to be. Excellent. Cool, so whilst we are here, we're going to talk about the crop that we are going to plant in this field. I've been having a think and I've been looking at the prices. And I did originally think that I was going to plant a crop that we could use for chickens, but I have seen that the crops for chickens, wheat and barley There's also soybeans as well, but predominantly those can be planted again in the autumn. So my feeling is that the first crop we need to plant needs to be a money earner. So I'm thinking we're going to plant canola. It can be planted now, and it can be planted when the ground temperature is 5 degrees, which is perfect because that's the ground temperature at the moment. So we can get that planted, and it also has a very good price on the market. So yeah, looking really, really good for us to plant this now, harvest it come summertime, and then in the autumn we can turn the field over to then plant the wheat or barley for the chickens. So yeah, there we go. Used quite a lot of lime on the headland. My thinking is that probably going to have to go back to the shop, as the 2 big bags aren't going to see us through. But I am going to carry on. I'm going to refill the spreader before we get going on some more, and I will see you in a short while. There we go, we have finished the liming job, and I now know that this field takes 5 big bags of lime. I was trying to put as little lime into the spreader as possible, as I don't think this spreader has the ability to unload, so yeah, I didn't want to waste loads and loads of lime, and when we need to switch this spreader to putting solid fertiliser or even manure in, yeah, need to make sure I'm not going to waste lots and lots of each product. So we can drop that off there, and then we've got 1 spare lime bag, which yeah, looks like we might be able to drop that in here actually. This is a good little hidey hole, although the tractor can't get too deep in there. Seems to be built for something a little shallower. We can get the front loader dropped off. Actually no, the front weight dropped off. There we go. And now we've got our next job of going back to the shop. Lots and lots of trips to and from the shop today, but we will be buying our new seeder. And I have picked out a seeder already. Oh, I don't think the weight was dropped straight, so we'll just prop that up and get it into position. There we go. Yep, so we need to go to the shop to buy our seeder. And I have picked one out. It's a John Deere one, surprise, surprise. I've been deliberately looking for John Deere machinery. See, the new spreader is John Deere, and our new seeder is going to be John Deere. I think it's going to reach a point where I can't find the machinery that's going to be John Deere, so we'll have to go with something else. But as long as I can find something that's John Deere, I'm going to try and use it. As I've not used a lot of John Deere machinery. The only John Deere machine I have used was the forestry machine on Ravenport, and that was a very good forestry machine. But yeah, not used many John Deere pieces of equipment or tractors. So yeah, at least for starting off, going to be using John Deere. And of course the shop is John Deere, so it makes sense that a lot of the products we buy, tractors, equipment, is going to be of that brand. So I'm going to pick up our seeder, and we'll be filling it with some big bags of seed and also some fertiliser, as this seeder is a direct drill, so we can drill over ploughed ground, and it also can fertilise at the same time. So yeah, it does lots of jobs, which saves passes. We don't have to buy a cultivator to cultivate the ground first, and then we don't have to buy a sprayer immediately for that particular need. So let's take a look at it. It is, funnily enough, under seeders. Where are you? Here we go. And it's at the end because it's a mod. So there were two. There was this one, which is 3 meters, and then this one, which is 6 meters. So we're going to go for the bigger one, the 750A 6 meter. And of course we're going to get it used. And for the design, I think we were going to go with all options, which removes the tram lines. I don't make use of those, but it does add 2 beacons, one at the front and one at the back. So yeah, that looks good. And for 36,220, it's a pretty good buy in my book. So let's go ahead and buy that. Nice. So yeah, I am actually going to have to detach the rear weight so we can hitch up the new seed drill, open up the compartments and get the fertiliser and seed added. There we go. So let's give ourselves a bit of space, and I'm going to buy the big bags, and we will fill the seeder all the way up to the top, as yeah, it's only ever going to be fertiliser and seed that goes in the seed drill, so we can just fill it right up to the brim. So I'm going to get that filled up, and I will see you back at the farm. Okay, so I have just repaired the seeder, and yeah, we've got it back here at the farm, filled up with fertiliser and wheat, and it's ready to go. So we'll get it unfolded over here, and Yep, as mentioned, we are going to go for canola, and I shall show you why. The price for canola out of all three is the highest, and I know canola yields slightly lower than wheat and barley and co, but I'll be going for the highest price. Soybeans was an option as well, and soybeans would have benefited the chickens if we would have had some left over. But the difference with soybeans is that we have to wait longer before we can plant it, and it also needs to have a higher ground temperature of 10 degrees. So at the moment it's too cold, but canola needs 5 degrees. Yep, so we can plant canola in the spring and then harvest it in the summer. So yeah, it's going to be good for us. We can also plant it again in the autumn, so that's an option. But as I mentioned, we're going to plant canola, harvest it, and then turn the field around, and we'll be looking to plant either wheat or barley in the autumn. So yeah, that is the plan. So let's get the seeder fired up. We will get it lowered, and we can start. Planting our canola. There we go. So it's only 6 meters wide. So I'm going to try and do a couple headlands to give us some good field boundary distance. The grass seems to cut in to the edges of this field, so just need to plant over it, follow the line of the lime, that is my guide. I will go over any bits that I've missed. But yeah, as we're going, precision farming is adding the right level of fertiliser for us. The soil at the moment has quite low nitrogen, but it's adding in 160 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, so quite a lot. But yeah, we've only used 5% so far, so that's pretty good. 2% of seed as well, so the seed's gonna last a good amount of time. And we've also got a bit of a bag of fertiliser left, so I don't imagine we'll run out in this feeding session, but we've got some more fertiliser if we need it. So I'm going to carry on getting our canola in. I'll do a couple of headlands and then I'll start doing some rows. But yeah, here we are. Tractor covered in lime. But as mentioned, this seed drill plants directly, so saving us a job of not having to cultivate. I'm going to crack on, and I'll see you when we're done. And there we are. I'm on the last strip, and then we would have got all of our canola planted. Not got the straightest of rows. It's quite difficult based on the shape of the field. I've recently started watching Clarkson's farm, and I think maybe my rows are worse than his. But yeah, if you haven't given it a watch already, definitely recommend. It's quite funny, and yeah, enjoy watching the farming process for sure. And yeah, it was quite nice when there were bits where Jeremy was buying equipment and he had no idea what it was, and because I played Farming Simulator, I could just say, yeah, I know where that is, and oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. So yeah, it was a good watch. But there we are, so we can get the seeder turned off and hold it up. So we used just over 71% fertiliser and then only 19% seed. That is fantastic. So the seed is really going to go a long way. We can plant another 4 fields of that size. So yeah, that is really good. I don't have a jet washer yet. I will have to buy that at some stage. But of course that comes down to finances, and yeah, can't be splurging money on a jet wash just yet. We're going to have to save some money for the summer season when we're going to be harvesting. The harvest is going to be quite an expensive piece of kit, so we will have to save up for that. But I have a plan. I've seen a harvester that's probably going to work quite well for the size of our farm at the moment, and it's a pretty good price, so yeah, pretty happy with that. Cool, so that is field number 9 fully planted with canola, and it has the right amount of pH from the lime and nitrogen from the fertiliser. So it's looking pretty optimum, and I'm not sure if we are going to have to fertilise it again during its growth stages. We will have to weed it, as we've got weeding turned on, so I will probably go and buy a cheap weeding rake when needed. But yep, the pH and nitrogen are perfect, and yeah, that's one of the great things about precision farming with seasons. You don't have to fertilise at each of the stages. You may have to fertilise once more, but yeah, the point of precision farming is that you give the field exactly the right pH through lime and also the right nitrogen level based on the crop. So that's perfect. Cool, well, it is the end of a long day, so we are going to leave it there, but I hope you've enjoyed watching. A big thank you for any views, likes, comments and subscribes, and yeah, if you've got anything you'd like me to try, any tips or mods or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. But I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye bye.